Hi, I'm Coach Jen.
And I'm Coach Tre.
And we're here to talk about how to host the best sports camp ever.
Ready, set. You got it.
Talk about expectations. What type of expectations should we have at a camp, during the camp, for the camp, so that way it can actually be fun and everyone have a good time?
So we had to talk about expectations like right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had to talk about our expectations as instructors, what we're going to do. Then we had to set athlete expectations. What kind of camp did we want to host? Who did we want walking in the door?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to set expectations with parents about what type of services we were going to provide to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to execute it. Now, Tre and I both live in Durham, North Carolina. And we also think it's really important that our community knows about what we're doing and we set proper expectations with them.
And we really have seen a lot of issues in the pandemic with a lot of kids not having access to like certain resources that they normally have and lacking a lot of things. So what we have for the expectation of our community is like just to give back.
Yeah.
That's why we've allotted for certain specific scholarship kids to come into our program, so that way they can be able to still experience, because most can't afford. A lot of these kids are going without, and we feel like, look, we're doing our part.
Hardcore. You know. That's right. You know. That's right. You know. That's right. 1, 2, 3. Go get it. Go get it. Now y'all ready for battle.
We had to decide, what is it that we wanted to do? Because we were talking about pre-pandemic, and then here we are now kind of getting out of this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of kids just depressed, anxious, not getting their basic needs met. And we both care about our communities and our kids, and we just see that things can be a lot better. So this was kind of an experiment for us a little bit.
And it worked successfully.
Yeah, it did. It did. But right now we're working on our expectations for next year. Like, how can we do this better? It is important to talk about parents. Parents got to be on board. They got to feel their kids are safe.
Mm-hmm.
And in the program, while we were doing, we had like this idea. We had our expectation, and Tre is highly structured. He runs this high performance and fitness, and he's
Straight to it.
And so he was like, what's the outline? What's the plan? What's it going to go? What are we going to do at 9:30? What about 9:45? What are we going to do about 10? And I was just like, okay, here's an outline, Tre. And then, he's just going, he's ready to go. And then we had like reality, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Reality. So I call it structured flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Yin yang.
And so how would you describe that process going through you as you were like figuring out from day 1 to day 4? Like, what did you learn going through this?
Day 1, as you already know, I was full throttle, trying to go as hard, as fast as possible, because that's what we do in our business. Like, most of us are entrepreneurs, business owners, self-employed. So we're like, all right, go, get it, especially with fitness. I realized, like, wait, there's a good thing to go structure and like go fast paced, but then you have to have the ebb and flow and chill out with the group. So day 1, I realized like having that structured time to say like, okay, we have a game, and also saying like, all right, 30 minutes after, chill time, free time. And
a lot of athletes signed up for this program, so we added in some high performance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But kids, who specialize too early, we know that that's not good. Research shows us that's not good. So we did a lot of different types of games and moved them.
Exposure.
They were sore, they were hungry, they needed things, and we had to adapt to the group. Wednesday, they walk in. They're so sore, they're ready to go.
A little attitude here and there.
Yeah, but we had to adapt and be flexible. Now, depending on the age, between the level of fitness, their normal activity level. I mean, how many of them have been on these video games forever?
16 months.
Goes back to setting these expectations. We're going to work hard, and we didn't have anyone drop out. In fact, we added kids. Yeah. Sometimes kids by Wednesday, Thursday, Tre, they're just like, Mom, let me stay at home, please. No.
This morning we had a kid late, and by like an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not coming back, but he came. So 100% capacity.
Yeah.
Good job, Coach.
Yeah. Last thing we're going to talk about is coach self-care, along with the student self-care. We talked about when they come in the door, making you know, when they're like, you know, hey, do you have breakfast? We were really fortunate. We had Durham Public Schools delivering food. So
Game changer.
we made sure that some of those basic needs, we weren't like, oh, do you have a snack in your pocket that we can give this kid? Because that's like, that's kind of annoying. Just, you know, always teachers are like giving stuff out of their pockets. So having that community support was fantastic.
No, that was I'm gonna go ahead and interject. That was a game changer.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, 50% of the kids were scholarship into the program. And they didn't have food with them. Like, of course they could have got food, but the things that they were bringing probably wasn't nutritious enough, or they don't know what to eat to like actually get through a day. So there's somebody that's smarter than us, smarter than I am, that's already figured out what type of calories they need, what type of food they need, how much liquid do they need to come in to actually go through an entire day of exercising and game. So next year we definitely are going to do that again.
No, I'd never done that before. It was the first time, and it definitely made a difference, because I can't tell you how many times I'm like, open up the fridge to see what I've got. And then let's talk about coach self-care, because Tre and I were both Division I athletes. We were both athletes in college. We you know, we pushed ourselves to the hardest. So like you said earlier, we wanted to go. We were ready to go. And you know, Tre was like catching that frisbee, diving across,
running up and down.
And you know, I played too with the kids. I think that's really important. But my pace was a little bit steadier,
more reserved, almost stagnant.
And my favorite story about this week was on Monday. Tre gave like a 3-minute lecture on what kind of shoes to wear. Did you follow your own instructions, Tre?
Do it as I say, not as I do. No, but I gave instructions like soles, make sure your soles look like this. And
he just wanted to look good. He had these nice shoes on. They looked really good. They broke, and so he had to spend half the camp day in his socks, and then he had to call his wife to come bring him another pair of shoes. So you know, you have to be prepared, just like you prepare your children. You know,
it's almost like game day for us former athletes, or anybody that's prepared for a super long work day or a super long work event where you have to like go out on a conference, whatever. You have to make sure you have, you know, a good breakfast in the morning. You have your water, you have your snacks, you have the proper clothing, shoes. Make sure you wear the pants that don't ride up. Like, you have to make sure you have these things going, because you're just as active, if not more, than these kids, because you're engaged mentally too. I didn't follow any of that. I came in, wrong shoes, wrong snacks, low energy. I'm just like, I got this thing in the bag. By day 3, if you guys can't see, I'm actually in a boot, rolled my ankle, and so.
Because he wore the wrong pairs of shoes on the next day too. Anyway.
So prepare, coach.
And we are also working at night. We got our athletes that we're working with at night and training. So it is a long day, a long, steady day. But those are the tips we've got. Basically, we've got to set expectations with everybody and clarify those expectations and change them when we need to. And then that structure and that flexibility. You've got that outline, but when things don't work out, you've got to adapt really, really fast. And then the last is taking care of yourselves. You know, put your oxygen mask on, like if you're flying in an airplane, before you help other people in the cargo. And we definitely have to take care of ourselves. And
absolutely. Good job.
Really appreciate having you here, Tre.
Boom.
You know. That's right. You know. That's right. You know. That's right. Elevate on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All the way. Logan style.